purpose when I look at you.
Hi guys, and where are we?
We are in London at Coco. I'm Corey. I play bass in Memphis May Fire.
I'm Jake and I play drums.
And just to get straight into your music, out of all the albums that you've made, lyrically and topically, I know they've all been quite different, even though a lot of them have been from personal experiences. Could you just explain the differences between all?
Well, The Hollow was mostly about topics from an outsider's perspective. Like, Maddie wrote lyrics that, had something to do with maybe something a friend went through or something. It wasn't necessarily about him, whereas Challenger was all about us. Every song was just about our personal stuff going on with touring. And then same with Unconditional, it's mostly about Maddie and his personal topics, but I guess it can kind of relate to other people as well too, just a lot of the songs.
Do you guys ever get involved in the songwriting?
Not as far as lyrics usually,
Yeah,
but
vocally Maddie is pretty solo.
And then something that might relate to you then is the track The Burden, and also on your album you've got Vessels as well. How come you've got two tracks that you don't really usually sound like you guys, kind of instrumentals? What caused that to be on the album?
They're kind of just interludes. Kellen, who writes 90% of the music, is incredible with programming, does all our orchestral stuff in the song. So The Burden, for example, is just something he kind of had, as an idea that could or couldn't have had vocals on it, and it just ended up being something that was more of an interlude track. I think it's right in the middle of the CD. And then Vessels is kind of just like an outro.
Do you think that we'll be hearing more of that kind of thing?
Good. I'm not sure. I mean, Kellen could write something that's super cool. Like Need to Be on Unconditional wasn't a for sure thing that it was going to be vocally driven, but then Maddie wrote awesome lyrics and melodies to it, and it turned out to be a cool track like that. But
What's the recording process like for you guys? Is it all, do you have as much time as you want, or is it in an allocated set time?
we usually look out a certain amount of weeks, usually around a month. But we always go into the studio with songs already written. There's not a lot of writing going on in the studio, so it's usually pretty quick in and out.
I know Matt's not here, but he always works with Cameron.
yeah,
How can he always work with him? Because you've got people albums.
they just click. Cameron's a vocalist, and when Maddie goes into the studio and just starts working, Cameron is so good at he's an incredible producer, which is what his job is. Like Maddie will write a melody and Cameron will be like, hey, under that you should do this melody, and it'll make the chorus or make the song or something. And so they just work really well together too. So they'll probably continue working together for future albums.
Just to speak about the music industry as a whole, how long have you guys been experiencing it or been in it?
When did you start?
We all started pretty young. I started touring as a junior in high school. I dropped out of high school. So about 10 years now. Yeah.
I started when I was 18 in 2008. I think was my first tour. So maybe not as long.
Has there been any aspects of the music industry that scared you?
Oh, yeah, it's a big reading machines.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially starting out.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're not making money. You have to sleep in a parking lot in a van that you're probably in debt for. So yeah, there's plenty of rough times. There's been plenty of times where we stayed, in a blizzard, and obviously don't want to keep the van running, so just slept cold on a bench in a van many a nights.
Before you had Matty in the band, you had Chase Riley. How does the band differ now that you've got Matty? I know you've had him for a long time.
The only member of the band that even knows Chase very well is Kellen, since he's the only original member. But other than that, we don't really know, to be honest.
Just on a day-to-day basis, I'm sure you guys meet a lot of musicians yourself and are supported by a lot of new artists. Who do you listen to just on a day-to-day basis, or new artists that you just like listening to?
Like newer bands?
Yeah.
Beartooth, we just toured with them. They're awesome. It's Caleb, who's in Attack, this new band, and they're really, really good. And their new album's been cool. Who else?
I think jamming there too. I'm really digging Cross's new album. It's Chino from the Deftones. That's really new band. It's really cool. Not so much in our genre, but I mean, that's what I've been jamming.
And a question which I'm going to be asking the fans who are waiting outside and queuing in their masses is, what is their favourite track from Unconditionally? What are your guys' favourite tracks from that album?
I don't know. I think favorite.
I think my favorite song to play, even though we haven't played it live yet, but just tracking it was Fairy Souls. Yeah, it's fun to live that song.
Yeah, it's a fun one to play. We haven't played it live yet, but of course it's pretty fun. And probably just overall, More Ordinary Love is probably my favorite one. It was the first one we released. It was kind of the first one we finished completely in the studio, I think. And yeah, just a really good song. I like playing it. We'll play it tonight.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Falling in love again.
My favourite track is The Rose.
The track from the album is Speechless.
Beneath the Skin.
Beneath the beat. Speechless.
Speechless.
Beneath the skin. The outside.
Beneath the Skin. Sleepless Nights. Beneath the Skin. The Rose.
Let me just have a look here.
It's okay, take your time.
I will. What do you reckon, Matty?
Speeches.
You reckon Speechless?
Speeches of Divinity.
I reckon Sleepless Nights personally.
That's a tune.
Sleepless Nights.
Speechless. You haven't listened
I don't actually know any of the songs, like the name from the new one, but probably the second one.
Do you know what, I actually appreciate your honesty.
It's The Rose and
Speechless.
No Ordinary Love.
My favourite song probably The Rose.
No, it's No Ordinary Love. It's probably or The Rose is probably and that's it, really. Pretty much.
I don't know if Beneath the Skin or Possibility.
For a moment, I'm a poet without words. Speechless 'cause you love me at my worst. I don't deserve this. I let it surface, and all I know is today I woke up falling in love again.
Okay, so explain who you are, please.
We're Memphis May Fire.
And this is the first selfie.
First selfie interview ever. Well, outro.
Wait, I have to ask you a question then.
Alright.
So, what TV programs do you like?
Jake likes
crime
Family
shows. Yeah, Family Guy. Crime shows.
Do you like crime investigation channels where it's all about murder and
I don't like the real ones. I like the scripted ones, like CSI and Criminal Minds.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
have you ever
my
watched Who the Hell Have You Married?
I don't think we have that.
Oh.
But that sounds funny. We'll check it out.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.